Hey y'all, it's Livia, aka florwalsims. For today's video, we're going to be building a house in Tomarang. This actually turned out to be one of my favorite builds that I've ever made. I feel like it just turned out exactly how I wanted it to. Not gonna lie, I've been struggling when it comes to building. You know how you get an idea in your head and then you go to build it and it's like the worst shit you've ever seen? That's been happening to me a lot. So yeah, I'm extra excited for y'all to watch this and use the build. This was inspired by a place that I found online in Puerto Rico and I am obsessed. I'm gonna need somebody to buy this house and let me live in it with them. I promise I'll be a good roommate, but I want to live here very bad. I'll insert some pictures. It's very cute, very tropical, very cozy. There's a lot of things I like about this build, but my favorite would probably be both of the screen and porches. If the place you live in has one of those, how does it feel to be living my dream? At first, I didn't know if I wanted to keep the house blue because I think it looks nice, but low-key I thought it looked too similar to a starter home that I had made for Del Sol Valley before. But I posted some screenshots on Tumblr trying to get opinions, and the people said to keep it blue, so I kept it blue. Thank you to everybody that helped me. Love you guys. Also, this house is fully furnished, which I never do. Usually I build for the girlies that just like to decorate but don't like to build the actual shells and exteriors because that happens to be my favorite part. And decorating, I like it, but I just take too long doing it and I can never make my mind up, but I thought the for rent items were way too nice to not use them in at least one build. So yeah, very rare florwalsims fully furnished house. I kept the furnishings pretty basic. I didn't go too crazy with clutter or anything. I think this build would also fit really nice in Sulani or Salvadorada. Tomarang is such a pretty world though. When I first got for rent, I kind of looked at it for a little bit and then forgot about it because I was annoyed that it was so small, but I just wish a lot of it was more accessible. I feel like every single world that comes out now is just to be pretty and not have like any purpose. But it's very cool that there's a Southeast Asian world now instead of another fucking American suburban town. So that's very lit. But yeah, I had kind of forgotten that the game has actual sounds because I listen to music when I'm playing. But this time when I was playtesting, I was just going around in tab mode outside, and the in-game sound effects are very nice. If you use this build, please go into the backyard area and go in tab mode and just chill for a minute. During the day, like you saw in the beginning of this video, there's a bunch of birds. And then I put 2 fountains and some wind chimes, so yeah, it's just a very nice, grand old vibey place. Another thing I'm super into with this build is the detached laundry room slash bathroom. If you wanted to, you could totally turn it into something else. But yeah, anyway, I have a few things I want to talk about. First off, I am very sorry that I have been queen of inconsistency when it comes to uploading Let's Plays. My bad. When I was transferring my stuff from my brother's computer to my computer when I got it, I had lost both of the save files for 2 of my LPs, and just the thought of having to recreate all of that again stressed me out. Luckily, I had a bunch of stuff backed up to my Google Drive. I haven't really been active on my Sim social media that much until a few days ago again, but I've been redecorating the Helms house and I definitely plan on playing with them again soon as I finish that. You can go on my Twitter or my Tumblr and look at some of the screenshots if you want. But yeah, I'm excited to get back into that because a lot has happened. Another thing I want to do eventually is play Sims 3 on here because I've been getting back into that. Don't get me wrong, I will never quit playing The Sims 4 and I love it, but since that's been the only Sims game I've been playing for a while, I'm kind of bored with it right now. Like, I still have fun, but it just doesn't hit the same right now. But yeah, I was already thinking of uploading myself playing it sometimes on here. And then somebody on Tumblr sent me an ask and was like, you should play in the Burrowsburg world, which is my favorite Sims 3 custom world. And I'm taking that as a sign that I need to do it. Hopefully soon I'm gonna start doing LPs again while I'm experiencing this god-awful build burnout, whatever the fuck it is. Also, my little sister wants to make another video with me. If you haven't seen it already, there's a video on my channel from when I just started, and she was rating my builds. The audio quality is absolutely awful because I didn't know how anything worked, but I love that video and I love my sister. That's my bestie. But my sister's really funny. I know whatever she does build is definitely gonna be interesting because she's a little troll just like me. Another thing I would like to mention real quick is the fact that I am definitely turning into an iPad baby. I already kind of was with TikTok, but now I started getting really into mobile gaming, and it is bad. Because when I like a game, I can't be normal about it. I have to speedrun that shit and grind as much as I possibly can. Like when I first got Stardew Valley on my phone, I played that shit for 2 weeks straight, like from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed, because it was during COVID and I had nothing to do. But yeah, usually I only like mobile games when they're full games that are also like on PC and stuff. Like I found this one game called Good Pizza, Great Pizza, and bruh, I'll insert a picture of my pizzeria because I'm proud of it. It's really cute and it has a little storyline and different chapters and stuff. You just make pizzas and the orders get very confusing and frustrating, but overall it's a very cute game. I definitely recommend downloading it. Another one I'm playing that I do not recommend downloading at all because it'll ruin your life is Monopoly Go. I feel like that game was made for moms that love to play Candy Crush and browse Facebook all day. If that's your vibe, there's nothing wrong with that. I love you so much. It's usually just like not my thing, but my cousin put me on and I've been addicted. At first I started playing and I was like, this shit is so stupid and repetitive, but it gets you. It's very gimmicky. There's a lot of microtransactions they try to throw in your face. But I don't know, I just think the highs and lows of that game, because like I'll get a bunch of dice and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm loaded. And then I literally use the 100 times multiplier and all my dice run out. You can collect sticker packs, which are basically like little virtual cards, and you can trade them with people. So I've been in Monopoly Go trading discords, selling my soul to get cards and looking very desperate. Like I don't like who this game is turning me into. But yeah, I'm a mobile gamer. Anyway, y'all seemed to enjoy when I told a story time a few videos ago, so I figured I'd go ahead and tell one again. So yeah, story time. I got abducted by a family member to go on a crack run when I was a child. It's not as bad as it sounds, but I'm also that bitch that will like start telling a funny story about my childhood and then other people get really quiet and they're like, wait. So I was probably 7 or 8 around this time. I don't remember, but I do remember this day very vividly. It's definitely a core memory. I used to go off with my dad's side of the family a lot, so we'd usually go to this one Chinese buffet that was in a slightly nicer area than where I lived, and that place was great. But yeah, I went with an older lady and one of her sons that was probably in his early 30s at the time. For some reason, they decided they wanted to go to a different Chinese buffet that was right by my house. They should have known that shit was gonna be trifling. But yeah, so we go there and we walked in and nobody else was eating there. It was just like a few people working. The lighting was very dim and unsettling. I don't know, overall it was just very rundown, and that is a vibe. Like usually I love shit like that. You know the food's gonna be good when the place looks like you're about to be murdered in it. But that was not the case for this buffet. It closed a long time ago, but you can still see the reviews online and they're all 1 star. But yeah, we sat down with our food, which turned out to be very cold, and then my drink had some weird moldy looking thing in the cup. Also, the table was not cleaned at all, and there were multiple roaches crawling around. We had little friends trying to eat with us, so we didn't even get to eat. And then the older lady that is very much Karen vibes freaked out and got a refund, and then we left. So we're walking back to her car, and her son kept asking for her car keys, and he said that he needed to just go somewhere and leave us in the parking lot real quick and that he'd be right back. Keep in mind, this man unfortunately has struggled with multiple addictions throughout his life, so she already knew what the fuck he was about to do. Obviously, she tells him no, and as we were walking back to the car, I got in the back seat, but they stayed outside for a minute just going back and forth. Then somehow dude manages to steal her keys. He got into the driver's side with me still in the back seat and just drove away. So the woman was chasing after the car, yelling. I knew something was off, but I was so young, and also I was just used to fuck shit happening because my childhood was very much like an episode of Shameless. So it wasn't anything that crazy to me. I was a kid, it was my family. I never felt like I was in danger with this man, but he kept speeding, he rolled the windows down, we were listening to music, chilling. And then he told me, hey, I just need to go get my friend real quick and then we'll go back and get my mom. So I'm like, okay. So we're driving to the friend's house. His friend gets into the passenger seat and then says hello to me, blah, 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 blah. Y'all, tell me why this man looked like he was about to audition to be one of Jesse Pinkman's friends in Breaking Bad. He was giving Skinny Pete for sure. So yeah, now it's me, this family member, and Skinny Pete. And after that, we went to a bank so they could get some money out of an ATM. And then we proceeded to go to another house that was very clearly a trap house. So yeah, they walked in and left me, and they were probably gone for like 30 minutes, I'd say. And I guess they just got high. Very glad I could be involved in this journey with them. Eventually, we did go back to get his mom, and she was mad as hell. She was still in the parking lot, by the way. It was the middle of the summer in Virginia. It was very hot and humid. I feel bad for her, but she did not call the cops. She didn't call my parents. It's funny because my parents were just under the assumption that I was completely safe with family, just eating some food at a Chinese buffet. The whole time I was going on drug runs. Like, imagine if that lady would have called the police and there was just like an Amber Alert out for me. Like, my mom didn't find out until way later, by the way, because I didn't say anything and that lady didn't tell her. So my mom didn't find out like anything was going down, because keep in mind, this was not like the only crazy thing that happened. My mom never found out until later, when one of that lady's other sons had this girlfriend that was living there too, and she told my mom that all of this stuff was going down and that I probably shouldn't be there. So my mom told them that I wasn't allowed to go there anymore. One thing had happened like right after the car incident. The same dude was smoking outside on his mom's front porch, and he put the cigarette in the grass without properly putting it out. So it actually caught the grass on fire, and then it spread to the front porch, and it was this whole thing, and they had to call the fire department and all that. But yeah, that's my little story time. My childhood was very normal. If any of you have family that's batshit insane too, please comment down below some stories because I would love to hear them. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. This build will be available for free on my Patreon, and it's also on the gallery. All the info will be in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye. Mwah.